Hey everybody, welcome back to Tuckaway Pines. It's Mackenzie here. Today we are in the primary kitchen. It's a shock, right? First time ever. I wanted to bring you guys up here today because if you are as overwhelmed as I am with the holidays coming up and unprepared, this video might help you out a little bit. Helps me out, kind of get the little edge, cut some corners if you will when it comes to cooking for the holiday dinner and all the meals and treats and snacks and all sorts of stuff. Crazy. So today I wanted to bring you guys up here and do a little tutorial on how I can kind of cut some corners, save some money, and kind of cut down on waste and garbage. And honestly, this probably would come in handy with Thanksgiving dinner, but I figured for me personally, this is going to come in handy for Christmas dinner, and maybe it'll help you guys out too. So I figured I'd bring it along and show you what I do here. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Okay, so today I want to show you how I make my homemade breadcrumbs and homemade croutons. So what I do is I save my bread ends for my loaves of breads or old hot dog buns or old hamburger buns that are not moldy. You don't want mold. I'll save them, I'll put them in bags, or I'll keep them in their sleeves, if you will, and I'll just throw them in the freezer so they don't go bad. And when I have enough, a good amount, I will turn them into breadcrumbs or croutons. And it obviously saves a lot of money, so I don't have to go to the store and buy two separate things when I have them here. Just need some time to make it up. And it's relatively quick and easy, honestly. You just need time, an hour, if that. So this will be super easy. And honestly, you could use it for, like I said, your holiday dishes. If you make homemade stuffing, there's your croutons right here. Or if you do like the mac and cheese with the breadcrumbs on top, here you go, So you can get really creative, and it can be used, throughout the year, not for the holidays, or not specifically for the holidays. So, but I figure with just how crazy the holidays can be, a little life hack can kind of help us out a lot. So hopefully you guys can use this and enjoy this, and please leave in the comments if you guys have any other kind of like food life hacks that kind of speed up the process in the kitchen, so please leave that in the comments. I'd love to hear and love to try them myself too if I haven't heard of it already. So to get started, so you obviously need your old bread, whatever. I have a cutting board, a serrated blade that'll help kind of get through the frozen bread. It's not that hard, but it helps. And then I have a bowl. I have some olive oil, good quality olive oil, and then some sea salt to kind of mix it. And then I'll be going into like some seasonings later on, but really that's not really a science. It's more of an art. You can kind of do whatever you want with the seasonings. So we'll get there. But first step is to cut up your bread into either your crouton squares or just little pieces that can dry out faster, because we will be putting these in the oven to dry out at 275 degrees for about an hour, so a low heat. You're basically just dehydrating the moisture. And yeah, so it's, like I said, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So okay, so to begin, step one, preheat your oven, 275, 250. You just want it to where it's a nice low heat so it can basically dehydrate your bread. Okay, that's preheating, and while that's preheating, we are going to cut up our bread. Very simple. I think I'm mostly going to do croutons. I think some of these odd pieces I'll just cut up into little chunks so they can become breadcrumbs. So kind of do like two separate things here, but like these nice flat pieces, I can make these into nice little squares. And you just cut them. It's pretty straightforward, into your little squares, however big you want. You can even do like a crouton stick instead of little squares. And then after that, I just put it in this bowl here because that's when I'm gonna mix the oil together and all my seasonings, because I like to have, you know, flavored croutons in that. You don't have to, of course. I know everyone's a little different. And you can get really creative with the flavorings. I myself personally like the Italian seasoning for my croutons, but I know people that like that use like Mexican seasoning, like a taco seasoning. I know people that like to use like a Parmesan cheese instead of anything, like any seasoning. So yeah, balls in your court when it comes to that. These are nice little cubes, and this is just, you know, a bread end, so it actually looks pretty good. You got your nice little cube. So. And then same for your breadcrumbs. I mean, you're more than welcome to season those as well. Like this, for example, this is an old like hot dog bun end, so I'll just like kind of cut it in half, and that can just be my chunks for breadcrumbs. And I'll actually probably get a separate bowl just to have them separate, and I'll probably do 2 separate cookie sheets, that way I know what's what, and you know, these don't get mistaken, and then these don't get broken down into little crumbs when they're nice cubes, you know, so yeah, that's basically what you do. You just cut up your little pieces the way you like, and then we'll get to the seasoning part next. Alrighty, so I'm done cutting up all my bread. I have my 2 separate bowls here, breadcrumbs and croutons. I'm just gonna put all the crumbs with the crumbs. Same with what's in the bag here. And actually what I'm gonna do is save this bag for more bread, so I just have another batch going. So put that off to the side. Clean up my mess a little bit. Okay. So now we have our 2 separate bowls here, and I have my olive oil. I have some sea salt. And I want to grab my seasonings real quick. Again, you don't have to do this. You can do any type of seasoning you want. I personally enjoy my Italian seasoning, and then I like to add some garlic powder. A little garlic and Italian, so that's what I do. Feel free to spruce it up however you like. But for your olive oil, I eyeball it like I do everything. So maybe depending on your amount, like for a bowl this full, this big, 3 tablespoons-ish. I just do a nice drizzle, that way it all kind of gets coated evenly. It's gonna absorb some of it too, but you want it to kind of help coat the crouton with that seasoning, and it also makes it really nice and crispy, crunchy when you dry it out. And then I just eyeball the seasonings, whatever you think is good. So that looks good to me. Looks good. And we'll do a little bit of salt. I'm going to grab a big spoon. I don't want to get my fingers all dirty. And just mix it up. For the breadcrumbs, I don't think I'm going to season them this time. Me personally, I don't need to. Croutons are a little more important with the flavoring. You are obviously more than welcome to season your breadcrumbs, but I'm not this time around. So yeah, you just essentially want to just mix everything in. Make sure your croutons are nicely coated with your olive oil, with your seasonings. Everything's just mixed thoroughly. And yeah. See, that's looking really good. That actually looks just like croutons. They're just not dry yet. Okay, I think that's mixed up pretty good. You can see there again, nice and seasoned. And now I'm going to get to my cookie sheets because we are at the point of putting them in the oven. Okay, I have 2 cookie sheets here, one for my croutons. One for my breadcrumbs, and then this one's for my croutons. So, breadcrumbs, pretty straightforward. You just put it on the cookie sheet and then make sure it's a nice layer, you know, as like smooth as flat as possible. You don't want like a whole pile because it's not gonna dry out properly. You kind of want things to be spread out. Nice even layer. And as these dry out, you might want to like check it, flip it, you know, take a spatula and kind of zhuzh it a little so it gets dried evenly. But this looks pretty good. So we'll set that off to the side. And then I'm gonna put out my croutons. God, doesn't that look like stuff you buy from the store? It's so good. It smells good. Now just kind of zhuzh it. I don't want to get all oily, so just make sure you got a nice even layer. Everything's spread out nice. Okay. Okay, looks good. So now we'll just pop it in the oven, and this take about an hour or so at 275, 250. It's okay to check it periodically. Like I said, you might want to, you know, shake it up a bit, flip them so they get dry at all angles. But yeah, about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, depending on your oven. So not that long. It's probably the longest part of the process because this was really easy, really quick. So yeah, and we'll see you at the end. Alrighty, so it's been about an hour and my croutons look really nice and crispy. They sound really nice and crispy. Oh yeah, they're crispy and warm. Honestly, while they were cooking, it smelled like Subway. So, very good, very delicious. Very excited at how fast and how well these turned out. Same with my breadcrumbs. Oh yeah, breadcrumbs, nice and toasty. And actually with these have another step to them because obviously you want to break them into crumbs. Croutons, they're done. I just put them in like a nice jar, or you can even put them in a bag or an old container. Keep them in the cupboard whenever you need them, just like you would normal croutons. But with these breadcrumbs, what I typically do, it's just quick and less mess and all that. I put them all in a bag. I get a Ziploc bag. I'll put them all in here, and then I take a rolling pin and I'll roll it out and crush it all into like a gajillion little pieces, and then I will put the crumbs in a jar as well. So pretty easy, pretty straightforward. I'm gonna do that without making a mess. See if I can try. Probably grab a spoon or something. Made a little mess, but whatever. Happens. So, now in my bag. And actually, I'm just going to take this. It's my pestle. I'm just going to roll it out. Make sure you have the air out of the bag so it doesn't pop as you crush it. This is actually really fun if you have a little pair of hands at home that need something to do. You can give them the bag and tell them to have at it. And that's pretty much the gist of it. I mean, yeah, I could crush it up a little bit more, get them into finer pieces, but that's the gist. And it's pretty simple. I mean, the whole process itself takes about, I don't know, hour and a half, with the baking and such. So, and like I said before, it saves on some money, it saves on waste, and kind of helps you with, like, if you're in a pinch for croutons or breadcrumbs, save a little batch of it in the back of the cupboard. When you actually need it, it's there, so it might save some time too. So I hope you guys really enjoyed, and I hope you can benefit from this. And like I said earlier as well, if you have any other kitchen hacks to help make cooking easier, especially during this crazy time of year, please leave that in the comments. I'd love to learn from you guys as you are learning from me too. So hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any other fun little projects we do here on the homestead. Have a good night, guys. Happy holidays. Bye.